All right, everybody, welcome. Let's call this meeting to order.
St. Pat's Day, dear.
It's March 17th, St. Patty's Day, and it's 6:30. So can we have Elisa Kropa, who is late, do the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
That's me.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I should note how thankful I am that we say the pledge before all of our meetings here at Grand Traverse County.
Yes.
Thank you so much, all. And Ryan, will you do roll call, please, sir?
Yes. Commissioner Albers?
Here.
Commissioner Grams?
Here.
Commissioner Herond?
Here.
Commissioner Kachadurian is excused. Commissioner Kropa?
Here.
Commissioner Leroy?
Here.
Commissioner Merrick?
Here.
Commissioner Maxbauer?
Here.
Commissioner McCallier?
Here.
And Commissioner Rao.
I am here. Thank you, Ryan.
I'm doing great.
It's a tough
No, turn the camera towards me.
creating as much of a mess as Andy is over there.
Ryan, will you give us the rules to first public comment?
Any person shall be permitted to address the Parks and Recreation Commission, which is required to be open to the public under provision of the Michigan Open Meetings Act, as amended, MCLA 15.261. Public comment should be carried out in accordance with the following board rules and procedures. Any person wishing to address the commission shall state his or her name and address. 2, no person shall be allowed to speak more than once on the same matter, excluding commissioners' questions. The chairperson shall control the amount of time each person shall be allowed to speak, which shall not exceed 3 minutes. The chairperson may, at his or her discretion, extend the amount of time any person is allowed to speak.
Thank you, Ryan. That being said, does anybody in the audience want to make any kind of public comment here tonight? You're welcome to do that now. Seeing no one run to the podium, we will go into the additions to the agenda. And I actually want to change the special orders of business presentations just a little bit, guys. We have Lauren Vaughn with us here, the City Parks and Rec Director, and we'd like to put him number 1 and then move the NER advisory, the committee recommendations and the appointments down to 2 and 3. Can I get a motion to do that?
I'll move to approve the agenda as modified.
Support.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We have an agenda. Thank you all. So with that said, we have Lauren Vaughn, City Parks and Recreation Director here tonight. Lauren, welcome. Come on up.
Do you want me to?
Yes, please, please. Give us a little,
Commissioners, I was asked several months ago to look into the possibility of recouping some of the utility costs from the city-county day camp in the summertime when they're there. So I use the percentage that we allocate to Howe Arena, and I also did some research with facilities, and the percentage is 30% of the overall utilities that Howe Arena, that's paid for Howe Arena by ICE. And in speaking with the facilities director, Janice, we decided that might be a fair way to approach it because of the air conditioning use, which would probably equate what the compressor uses when ICE is in there. So I did an analysis and came up with an additional, I think, $25 a day request for utilities. Currently, the City County Day Camp pays $35 a day for use up Howe Arena for the camp. So I proposed adding $25 to that per day, which would be a little over $1,000 added to their bill. And Lauren and I had a conversation about this last week, and he wants to discuss not adding that amount on because they really don't recoup that much. They don't have very many earnings from that program, and it might even put them in the red, I don't know, based on what I'm looking at. I provided a history of the City County Day Camp program to you that I sent out yesterday that Lauren provided to us. I don't know if you had a chance to take a look at that, but it's interesting how it's evolved. It started out at $10 a day, and then in 2013 it went up to $35. There was a progression in between. So I'm not going to make a recommendation either way. I think we need to hear from Lauren first about, you know, what his reasons are and what the City County Day Camp's reasons are for not wanting to do this at this time.
All right.
Well, I trust that some of you at least have had the opportunity to read the information that I provided. And so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on that unless you have specific questions, but I think probably the most important thing to think about for this proposal of raising the rates is that it is a joint program. Since for the last 22 years, it's been a joint city-county program. I gave you the history of how it started originally. And it's not, I mean, the county gets a certain amount of benefit in terms of, I mean, a lot of people don't know whether something is a city program, a county program. People think the Civic Center is a city park. People that participate in events like our day camp at the Civic Center probably, you know, some of them probably think it's a county-run program. So it's, you know, it's not a moneymaker, as you saw in my analysis. By the time you include the staff time for myself, our clerical people, and some of our maintenance people that deliver stuff to camp and take it from camp at the end of the season, we lose roughly $3,000 last year on running the camp. The biggest detriment, I guess you'd say, of raising the rates is that we would just have to in turn raise the rates to the families, to the participants. From last year they paid $95 per child, we'd have to raise that to $100 per child, which, you know, isn't a big increase, but that's really the main reason for not wanting to raise it, for the sake of the families that have kids involved in the program. It's not going to make a big difference to the city's bottom line because we'll have to raise rates to make up for that difference. So, I mean, that's basically it in a nutshell. It's not simply a city program. It's a joint program. We both share the benefits from. Out of the 70 campers that attended, 65 were county residents last year, including 14 of those were from within the city, but they also pay, you know, county taxes along with their city taxes. So all but 5 people came from, you know, county residents. So basically, unless you have some questions, that's pretty much all that I have to say.
Okay. Any commissioners, any questions? Commissioner Maxbauer.
What, Christine, is our loss doing this program?
If we were to charge regular prices, you mean?
No, what is, if we just covered our costs, if we covered the electric and the maintenance that is done by maintenance staff in the building,
I have not
what is our
I
cost?
haven't added up the maintenance staff. That would be Porcelain Patrol, and I would have to look up their, the charges. It's part of the regular cleaning. But the utilities, I came up with the $25 a day figure based on the How Arena formula.
So you're saying, you're telling me that for the How Arena, it costs $25 a day to light and or heat or cool?
Based on my calculations. However, I think it's important to point out, and I talked with Marilyn about this because she generates the permit and she's been there all of the years they've been there.
Yes.
They're not there a lot. And they shut off the lights and shut off the air and because they're gone on field trips and things like that. So I would say How much of a percentage of the time would you say, Lauren, that you're not there, or maybe 30% of the time?
I would say even more than that.
Really?
Because a lot of the times they're out doing activities on the Civic Center grounds.
Right,
You know, it's probably,
Or field trips
probably
and-
closer to 45, 50% probably.
right. But my estimation, just from a utility standpoint, is 25 a day. I
And-
believe they clean up after themselves. Ryan just said that Porcelain Patrol doesn't clean, so they clean up after themselves.
Maintenance staff does nothing for
Nothing.
them in Howe Arena at all?
No, they put up and take down their own tables and chairs. They put them away if we know something's going on, if somebody else is coming in behind them or for a weekend. There's trash removal, as part of the utilities. So,
But Christine, when you said $25 a day for the arena, that's in addition to what we're already paying, right? So
Per
it's-
day, right.
It's about $60 a day for the utilities
Right.
for the arena,
right.
58 or whatever it was.
I guess my bottom line is, are we covering our costs with these fees?
Not for utilities, no.
Okay. How much do we have to charge to cover our costs?
$25 more a day.
$25 more a day. I wanted to be absolutely clear about that. Okay.
However, we could keep track of the days when they're gone. And then it wouldn't be as much per day if we wanted to complicate things, but I want to be fair about it.
Days they're gone.
How many days total is this run?
It's 10 weeks, 5 days a week for 10 weeks.
50.
And there's several days during that 10-week period where we can't use the Civic Center because of an event or another, and we either go to
you-
Hickory Hills or something.
This would be about $1,200 or $1,250 extra, and you're showing a profit of over 5 years of, I don't know if profit's the right word to use, but $2,974. Is the city contributing anything, or is the county providing, or going to be the one eating up all the costs?
All the costs.